I doubt Foxface and Thresh even know he was wounded. All the better if they think he's covering me when I go in for the backpack. But where is it? The arena has lightened enough for me to remove my glasses. I can hear the morning birds singing. Isn't it time? For a second, I'm panicked that I'm at the wrong location. But no, I'm certain I remember Claudius Templesmith specifying the cornucopia. And there it is, and here I am, so where's my feast? Just as the first ray of sun glints off the gold cornucopia, there's a disturbance on the plain. The ground before the mouth of the horn splits in two, and a round table with a snowy white cloth rises into the arena. On the table sit 4 backpacks, 2 large black ones with the number 2 and 11, a medium-sized green one with the number 5, and a tiny orange one, really I could carry it around my wrist, that must be marked with the 12. The table is just clicked into place when a figure darts out of the cornucopia, snags the green backpack, and speeds off. Foxface! Leave it to her to come up with such a clever and risky idea. The rest of us are still poised around the plain, sizing up the situation, and she's got hers. She's got us trapped, too, because no one wants to chase her down, not while their own pack sits so vulnerable on the table. Foxface must have purposely left the other packs alone, knowing that to steal one without her number would definitely bring on a pursuer. That should have been my strategy. By the time I've worked through the emotions of surprise, admiration, anger, jealousy, and frustration, I'm watching that reddish mane of hair disappear into the trees, well out of shooting range. I'm always dreading the others, but maybe Foxface is the real opponent here. She's cost me time, too, because by now it's clear that I must get to the table next. Anyone who beats me to it will easily scoop up my pack and be gone. Without hesitation, I sprint for the table. I can sense the emergence of danger before I see it. Fortunately, the first knife comes whizzing in on my right side, so I can hear it, and I'm able to deflect it with my bow. I turn, drawing back the bowstring, and send an arrow straight at Clove's heart. She turns just enough to avoid a fatal hit, but the point punctures her upper left arm. Unfortunately, she throws with her right, but it's enough to slow her down for a few moments, having to pull the arrow from her arm, taking the severity of the wound. I keep moving, positioning the next arrow automatically, as only someone who was hunted years for can do. I'm at the table now, my fingers closing over the tiny orange backpack. My hand slips through the straps and I yank it up on my arm. It's really too small to fit on any other part of my anatomy. I'm turning to fire again when the second knife catches me in the forehead. It slices above my right eyebrow, opening a gash that sends a gush running down my face, blinding my eye, filling my mouth with the sharp, metallic taste of my own blood. I stagger backward, but still manage to send my readied arrow in the general direction of my assailant. I know as it leaves my hands it will be a miss, and then Clove slams into me, knocking me flat on my back, pinning my shoulders to the ground with her knees. This is it, I think, and hope for Prim's sake it will be fast. But Clove means to savor the moment, even feels she has time. No doubt Cato is somewhere nearby, guarding her, waiting for Thresh and possibly Peta. "Where's your boyfriend, District 12? Still hanging on?" she asks. Well, as long as we're talking, I'm alive. He's out there now, hunting Cato, I snarl at her. Then I scream at the top of my lungs, "Peta!" Clove jams her fist into my windpipe, very effectively cutting off my voice. But her head's whipping from side to side, and I know for a moment she's at least considering I'm telling the truth. Since no Peta appears to save me, she turns back to me. "Liar," she says with a grin. "He's nearly dead. Cato knows where he cut him. You've probably got him strapped up in a tree while you try to keep his heart going. What's in the pretty little backpack? That medicine for Loverboy? Too bad he'll never get it." Clove opens her jacket. It's lined with an impressive array of knives. She carefully selects an almost dainty-looking number with a cruel curved blade. "I promised Cato if he let me have you, I'd give the audience a good show." I'm struggling now in an effort to unseat her, but it's no use. She's too heavy and her lock on me too tight. "Forget it, District 12. We're going to kill you. Just like we did your pathetic little ally. What was her name? The one who hopped around in the trees? Rue? Well, first Rue, then you. And then I think we'll just let nature take care of Loverboy. How does that sound? Clove asks. Now, where to start? She carelessly wipes away the blood from my wound with her jacket sleeve. For a moment, she surveys my face, tilting it from side to side, as if it's a block of wood and she's deciding exactly what pattern to carve on it. I attempt to bite her hand, but she grabs the hair on the top of my head, forcing me to the ground. I think, she almost purrs, I think we'll start with your mouth. I clamp my teeth together as she teasingly traces the outline of my lips with the tip of the blade. I won't close my eyes. The comment about Rue has filled me with fury, enough fury, I think, to die with some dignity. As my last act of defiance, I will stare her down as long as I can see, which will probably not be an extended period of time, but I will stare her down. I will not cry out. I will die, in my own small way, undefeated. Yes, I don't think you'll have much use for your lips anymore. Want to blow Loverboy one last kiss? She asks. I work up a mouthful of blood and saliva and spit it in her face. She flushes with rage. All right, then. Let's get started. I brace myself for the agony that's sure to follow, but as I feel the tip open the first cut at my lip, some great force yanks Clove from my body, and then she's screaming. I'm too stunned at first, too unable to process what's happened. Has PETA somehow come to my rescue? Have the game makers sent in some wild animal to add to the fun? Has a hovercraft inexplicably plucked her into the air? But when I push myself up on my numb arms, I see it's none of the above. Clove is dangling a foot off the ground, imprisoned in Thresh's arms. I let out a gasp, seeing him like that, towering over me, holding Clove like a rag doll. I remember him as big, but he seems more massive, more powerful than I even recall. If anything, he seems to have gained weight in the arena. He flips Clove around and flings her on the ground. When he shouts, I jump, never having heard him speak above a mutter. What did you do to that little girl? You kill her? Clove is scrambling backward on all fours, like a frantic insect, too shocked to even call for Cato. No, it wasn't me. You said her name. I heard you. You kill her? Another thought brings a fresh wave of rage to his features. You cut her up like you were going to cut up this girl here? No, I... Clove sees the stone, about the size of a loaf of bread, in Thresh's hand, and loses it. Cato! She screeches. Cato! Clove! I hear Cato's answer, but he's too far away. I can tell that much to do her any good. What was he doing? Trying to get Foxface or PETA? Or had he been lying in wait for Thresh, and just badly misjudged his location? Thresh brings up the rock down hard against Clove's temple. It's not bleeding, but I can see the dent in her skull, and I know she's a goner. There's still life in her now, though, in the rapid rise and fall of her chest, the low moan escaping her lips. When Thresh whirls around on me, the rock raised, I know it's no good to run, and my bow is empty, the last loaded arrow having gone in Clove's direction. I'm trapped in the glare of his strange golden brown eyes. What did she mean? About Rue being your ally? We teamed up, blew up the supplies. I tried to save her, I did, but he got there first. District 1, I say. Maybe if he knows I helped Rue, he won't choose some slow, sadistic end for me. And you killed him? He demands. Yes, I killed him, and buried her in flowers, I say, and sang her to sleep. Tears spring in my eyes. The tension, the fight goes out of me at the memory, and I'm overwhelmed by Rue, and the pain in my head, and my fear of Thresh, and the moaning of the dying girl a few feet away. To sleep, Thresh says gruffly. To death, I sang until she died, I say. Your district, they sent me bread. My hand reaches up, but not for an arrow that I know I'll never reach, just to wipe my nose. Do it fast, okay, Thresh? Conflicting emotions cross Thresh's face. He lowers the rock and points at me, almost accusingly. Just this one time, I let you go. For the little girl. You and me, we're even then. No more owed. You understand? I nod, because I do understand. About owing. About hating it. I understand that if Thresh wins, he'll have to go back and face a district that has already broken all the rules to thank me. And he is breaking the rules to thank me too. And I understand that, for a moment, Thresh is not going to smash in my skull. Clove! Cato's voice is much nearer now. I can tell by the pain in it that he sees her on the ground. You better run now, Fire Girl, says Thresh. I don't need to be told twice. I flip over and my feet dig into the hard-packed earth as I run away from Thresh and Clove and the sound of Cato's voice. Only when I reach the woods do I turn back for an instant. Thresh and both large backpacks are vanishing over the edge of the plain into the area I've never seen. Cato kneels beside Clove, spear in hand, begging her to stay with him. In a moment, he will realize it's futile. She can't be saved. I crash into the trees, repeatedly swinging away the blood that's pouring into my eye, fleeing like the wild, wounded creature that I am. After a few minutes, I hear the cannon, and I know that Clove has died, that Cato will be on one of our trails, either Thresh's or mine. I'm seized with terror, weak from my head wound, shaking. I load an arrow, but Cato can throw that spear almost as far as I can shoot. Only one thing calms me down. Thresh has Cato's backpack containing the thing he needs desperately. If I had to bet, Cato is headed out after Thresh, not me. Still, I don't slow down when I reach the water. I plunge right in. Boots still on, and flounder downstream. I pull off Rue's socks that I've been using for gloves, and press them to my forehead, trying to staunch the flow of the blood, but they're soaked in minutes. Somehow, I make it back to the cave. I squeeze through the rocks. In the dampened light, I pull the little orange backpack from my arm, cut open the clasp, and dump the contents on the ground. One slim box containing one hyperthermic needle. Without hesitating, I jam the needle into Peta's arm and slowly press down on the plunger. My hands go to my head and then drop to my lap, slick with blood. The last thing I remember is an exquisitely beautiful green and silver moth landing on the curve of my wrist. Chapter 22. The sound of rain drumming on the roof of our house gently pulls me toward consciousness. I fight to return to sleep, though, wrapped in a warm cocoon of blankets, safe at home. I'm vaguely aware that my head aches. Possibly I have the flu, and this is why I'm allowed to stay in bed, even though I can tell I've been asleep a long time. My mother's hand strokes my cheek, and I don't push it away as I would in wakefulness, never wanting her to know how much I crave that gentle touch, how much I miss her, even though I still don't trust her. Then there's a voice, the wrong voice, not my mother's, and I'm scared. Katniss, it says. Katniss, can you hear me? My eyes open, and the sense of security vanishes. I'm not home, not with my mother. I'm in a dim, chilly cave, my bare feet freezing despite the cover, the air tainted with the unmistakable smell of blood. The haggard, pale face of a boy slides into view, and after an initial jolt of alarm, I feel better. Peta. Hey, he says. Good to see your eyes again. How long have I been out? I ask. Not sure. I woke up yesterday evening and you were lying next to me, in a very scary pool of blood, he says. I think it stopped finally, but I wouldn't sit up or anything. I gingerly lift my hand to my head and find it bandaged. This simple gesture leaves me weak and dizzy. Peta holds a bottle to my lips, and I drink thirstily. You're better, I say. Much better. Whatever you shot into my arm did the trick, he says. By this morning, almost all the swelling in my leg was gone. He doesn't seem angry about my tricking him, drugging him, and running off to the feast. Maybe I'm just too beaten up, and I'll hear about it later when I'm stronger. But for a moment, he's all gentleness.